This is the secret billionaire life of Michelle Obama that no one is talking about. From the moment Barack Obama became president of America, the whole world got to know his wife. But what if I told you her life is not what it seems? Today, I will expose many secrets you didn't know about this woman, including her background, net worth, and billionaire lifestyle. Michelle Obama's maiden name is Michelle LaVaughn Robinson. She is an American attorney and author who was once the 44th First Lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017. However, even before she became a president's wife and gained so much popularity, she had an interesting background that many don't know about.
My husband and I sadly know a little something about this.
It all started when she was born on January 17, 1964, in Chicago, Illinois, to her African-American parents, Fraser Robinson III and Marion Shields Robinson. All four of Michelle's grandparents had multiracial ancestors, so her distant ancestry includes Irish, English, and Native American roots. Michelle Obama was not born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She lived with her parents in a brick house owned by her great-aunt. They weren't rich, but they had all they needed to survive and train their children, and they were content with that. In fact, on Tuesday, the second night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, she mentioned that her parents were suspicious of wealthy folks.
The dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died and sacrificed for.
She said of her mother, "She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed," Michelle Obama said. "They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning. So my mother volunteered at the local school." Now, here is something that will surprise you. Michelle and her husband, Barack Obama, collectively have a net worth of $70 million. However, even though she lives in such affluence, Michelle Obama still remembers her humble roots and background. On the contrary, she has succeeded in passing down the values she learned from her parents to her generation. In her words, "You see, those values have been passed on through family farms and factory towns, through tree-lined streets and crowded tenements, through prayer groups and National Guard units and social studies classrooms. Those were the values my mother poured into me until her very last breath." According to Michelle, she was raised in what she calls a conventional home. The mother stayed at home taking care of the home as a housewife while the father worked.
As a matter of fact, I talked them into allowing me to do my own laundry.
They lived as a united family and regularly had dinner around the table. Michelle had an older brother, Craig, and because they were both intelligent, they skipped second grade in their elementary school, which was just down the street. Michelle Obama and her family enjoyed playing games such as Monopoly and reading. She also played the piano, which she learned from her great-aunt who was a piano teacher. This great family attended services at a nearby South Shore United Methodist Church. But it wasn't all. The family regularly used to go for vacations in a rustic cabin in White Cloud, Michigan. Looking back at Michelle's educational foundation, we see that her parents never joked about her schooling. This is why, even before she climbed stardom, she was already an established attorney. Her father, Fraser, suffered from multiple sclerosis, and this had a profound effect on her. It caused her to double down on her studying habits and excel in her education. By 6th grade, Michelle had joined a gifted class at Bryn Mawr Elementary School, which was later renamed Boucher Academy. She later attended Whitney Young High School, the first magnet high school in Chicago, where she was a classmate of Jesse Jackson's daughter Santita. Michelle was a star student worthy of emulation. She was on the honor roll for 4 years, took advanced placement classes, was a member of the National Honor Society, and served as student council treasurer. She even graduated in 1981 as the salutatorian of her class. In 1981, Michelle Obama gained admission into Princeton University. Princeton University was a prestigious university, and Michelle's teachers had tried to discourage her from applying because they didn't think she could get in. However, Michelle was determined to make her family proud, and she did, especially because her parents didn't didn't have a college degree. Despite all the odds, she studied sociology and African American studies and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree. She further pursued professional study, earning her Juris Doctor J.D. degree from Harvard Law School in 1988. Sadly, in 1991, Michelle's father passed away. At the same time, she also lost her close friend to cancer. These losses all took place at a significant time in her career, and they made her think about her contributions to society. After law school, Michelle Obama worked at a law firm, Sidley Austin LLP. And guess what? This was where she met Barack Obama, the love of her life. They were among the few African Americans in the firm, so they kicked it off without too much hassle. Barack was a summer associate, and Michelle was assigned to mentor him. Their relationship started with a business lunch and then a community organization meeting, during which time their relationship started blooming. On October 3rd, 1992, Barack and Michelle Obama got married in the Trinity United Church of Christ, where they were joined in wedlock by Reverend Jeremiah Wright. Several years later, Michelle suffered a miscarriage. Consequently, she underwent in vitro fertilization to conceive. In 1998, she gave birth to her first daughter, Malia Ann and Natasha, in 2001. In 2002, Michelle Obama began working as an executive director at the University of Chicago Hospital. Prior to this time, she already had a wide portfolio of work experience, including work as an assistant commissioner of planning and development in Chicago's City Hall and executive director of the Chicago chapter of Public Allies. As an executive director at the University of Chicago Hospital, she earned about $121,000, while her husband earned a salary of $157,000 from the United States Senate. Subsequently, in 2005, she was promoted to Vice President for Community and External Affairs. According to the tax returns filed by the Obamas, the promotion tripled her income. Critics have suggested that Barack Obama's election to the U.S. Senate played a role in Michelle Obama's promotion to Vice President of the University of Chicago Hospital. Although we can't pinpoint the hospital's reason for promoting her, Michael Reardon, who served as the medical center's president at the time, firmly believed that it had nothing to do with her husband. He told the Chicago Tribune, "She was hired before Barack was Barack. She is worth her weight in gold, and she is just terrific." Furthermore, when her husband started running for president, she had to start working part-time in order to support him. As a result, her salary was slashed to $103,633. Michelle was not entirely comfortable with Barack's desire to run for president, as she thought it would be difficult for their young children. But even when she had her reservations, she still threw her full weight behind her husband's aspiration. During campaign speeches, she often discussed race, education, and motherhood. Eventually, her contributions to the campaign paid off, and her husband was inaugurated as President of the United States. Therefore, she put her career ambitions on the back burner and resumed her role as First Lady. When Barack Obama won the election as United States President, the lives of Michelle and her two girls changed drastically. The Obamas entered the White House with a $1.3 million net worth in 2008. According to International Business Times, their net worth has since grown to at least $70 million. That figure looks overwhelming, but trust me, it is nothing compared to the estimation by the New York Post. They pegged their fortune much higher, almost twice of the International Business Times. This is at a whopping $135 million. You may think that Michelle Obama's net worth is primarily due to her position as First Lady back in 2009 through 2017, but you will be wrong if you have that thought. You might be surprised to find out that the lion's share of Obama's fortune comes from books. Yes, books. After her husband's term ended, Michelle Obama kept a relatively low profile, but things were about to change when she released her debut book, Becoming. From 2005 to 2016, her husband, Barack Obama, earned $15.6 million in advances and royalties from his books, The Audacity of Hope and Of the Me, I Sing, A Letter to My Daughters, and royalties for Dreams from My Father. But that isn't all. In 2017, Michelle and her husband signed book deals worth at least $60 million to each write their memoirs. Michelle's memoir, Becoming, was published in November 2018 and was an international bestseller. On the first day of its release, The Guardian reported that it sold nearly 9 copies per second in North America. It was as if the whole couldn't wait to read from her and tap from her wisdom.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama's new book, Becoming.
The total sales made on that day was 725,000 copies. Since then, till July 2022, Becoming has sold more than 17 million copies worldwide. This particular book deal has been reported to net her over $65 million. Talking about her book, she said on X, formerly called Twitter, "Writing Becoming has been a deeply personal experience. I talk about my roots and how a girl from the South Side found her voice. I hope my journey inspires readers to find the courage to become whoever they aspire to be." Along with selling her book, Becoming, Michelle also sold 25 different items of merchandise related to the book, including mugs that retailed for $20 and candles that retailed for $35. But Michelle Obama didn't end up writing only Becoming. In November 2022, she released her second book, The Light We Carry.
Sharing her strategies for staying hopeful in her new book, The Light We Carry.
Overcoming in Uncertain Times, published by Penguin Random House. And just like her first book, it took the top spot on USA Today's best-selling books list in its debut week. The book highlights coping strategies for coping with stress and anxiety. In the book, Michelle Obama describes times when she felt uncertain or out of place, such as being a rare African-American undergraduate at Princeton in the 1980s, or becoming the first African-American First Lady of the United States. Michelle Obama received awards for her books, including 2 Grammy Awards. Becoming won Best Spoken Word Album in 2019, and The Light We Carry won Best Audiobook, Narration and Storytelling Recording in 2023. Michelle Obama also won another award at the 75th Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards. She won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Hosted Nonfiction Series, or special nomination for the Netflix documentary film The Light We Carry.
Michelle Obama!
Michelle Obama and Oprah Winfrey.
The book came from people asking for guidance. When you get to those low emotional places.
Another exciting way Michelle Obama makes her big money is through speaking engagements. She reportedly rakes in $225,000 per speaking appearance. Her husband earns so much more from speaking engagements. Barack has been paid as much as $400,000 for public speaking events. In fact, in 2017, he reportedly earned $1.2 million for only 3 talks with Wall Street firms. In 2018, Michelle Obama and her husband signed a deal with Netflix to produce series and movies for the streaming service. Their new production company, Higher Ground Productions, announced that 7 projects are in the works for Netflix, including several documentaries and a movie about Frederick Douglass. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, deals Netflix has partnered with a highly influential person. When we look at the history of other exclusive deals of big players in the entertainment industry, it gives us a glimpse of what Michelle Obama and her husband will earn throughout their deals. Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes signed a deal estimated to be worth $150 million over 5 years in 2017. Glee and American Horror Story creator Ryan Murphy signed a 5-year contract worth a reported $300 million last year. In July 2020, Michelle ventured into podcasting. She hosted an exclusive podcast with Spotify about interpersonal relationships. She also produced another series called Michelle Obama, The Light Podcast, which premiered on Audible. Peering into Michelle Obama's billionaire life is enough to give you shivers. Let's look at Michelle's designer wardrobe. As a former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama is well aware that she is very visible to the public eye, so she tries to dress in the best way possible. Michelle Obama has worn both expensive designer clothes and affordable brands. Her custom state dinner gowns from Naeem Khan and Versace were worth an estimated $12,000. One time, she wore $540 Lanvin sneakers to a food bank and was bashed by hostile critics. In 2006, at the Democratic National Convention, she wore a custom-made $995 blue Christian Siriano dress. Apart from wearing expensive pieces, Michelle Obama is also known for her casual and relatable style of dressing. She has often been spotted in affordable brands like J. Crew, Target, and Converse. Fashion is not the only thing Michelle spends money on. Luxury vacations and holidays are also part of the equation. One time, the Obamas made the news for their 17-day Hawaiian holiday. Some taxpayers estimated their vacation to cost $4 million and criticized them for spending such a large amount of money having fun. However, this did not deter them from going on holiday. Michelle and Barack Obama love their luxury holidays.
Now, my understanding is that we've been working on a little dance. We don't know how it's going to go.
And they don't hesitate to lavish so much money on them. In fact, when Michelle and Barack Obama left the White House, they first headed to Southern California. Then, they eventually made their way to Necker Island, where Barack was spotted kitesurfing with Richard Branson per Time. Barack also visited the island of Tetiaroa in French Polynesia and checked into a luxury resort called the Brando, where a night in a one-bedroom villa can cost anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500. The media has also spotted Michelle and her family on David Geffen's yacht with celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, and Bruce Springsteen. Michelle Obama's car collection is another proof of her lavish lifestyle. During her time as First Lady, she was often seen traveling in expensive vehicles provided by the Secret Service for security purposes. These vehicles included rides like SUVs and limousines equipped with advanced security features to enhance the safety of her and the First Family. Michelle Obama reportedly owns personal luxury cars like the Toyota Highlander SUV, a Honda CR-V SUV, and a Lexus LS sedan. These vehicles are known for their fuel efficiency features and contribution to the sustainability of the ecosystem. Although luxury fashion and holidays are integral parts of Michelle's life, she is also big on philanthropy. Michelle Obama spends a significant amount of her money on helping people and championing causes. In her book, Becoming, she mentioned 4 of her primary initiatives as First Lady. There are Let's Move, Reach Higher, Let Girls Learn, and Joining Forces. Forbes reported that from 2009 to 2015, the Obamas gave a total of about $1.1 million to charity. The majority of their donations went to organizations meant for children. Even so, they also donated to charities focusing on African American causes, veterans, disaster relief, homelessness, and housing and health. Another place to look at when it comes to Michelle Obama's billionaire lifestyle is her investment in real estate. They own 4 luxurious properties. There is the Washington, D.C. home bought for $8.1 million, the Martha's Vineyard home bought for $11.75 million, the beachfront home in Hawaii bought for $8.7 million, and the Chicago home bought for $1.65 million, amongst other investments. After leaving the White House, they needed a place to live, so they bought an 8,200 square foot mansion in Washington for $8.1 million after previously renting it. At the time of their purchase, it was the second most expensive home in the Kalorama neighborhood of the city. The the first and most expensive being that of Jeff Bezos. Their original home in Chicago's Hyde Park neighborhood, which they bought for $1.65 million in 2005, is now valued at about $2.5 million. In 2019, the Obamas reportedly bought their most expensive house yet, a house on Martha's Vineyard worth $11.75 million. When it comes to spending money, Michelle Obama and her husband think about long-term investment. Michelle adores her girls, and she will do anything in the world to take care of them and secure their future. In 2007, Barack bought Bright Direction's age-based growth plans worth $50,000 to $100,000 each. These plans were to pay for the college education of their children, Malia and Sasha. Malia started at Harvard in the autumn of 2017, while Sasha began at the University of Michigan in the autumn of 2019, but switched to the University of Southern California. Michelle Obama is a phenomenal woman who has had several impressive accomplishments and contributions to society. In 2021, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame to recognize her for her immeasurable impact on the world. Although many people have speculated that she might be running for president, in April 2012, she responded and debunked such rumors. According to her, she has never had a passion for politics, and there are millions of women out there who are inclined and have the passion. But her words were not enough to silence the speculations. During the 2024 U.S. presidential elections, Michelle Obama's office officially announced that she would not be running for president in the elections. Want to know more about the Obamas? Don't click on this video here, please. You'll regret it.